If you go down in the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise.
Alright guys, let's start off with the conclusion first. I really like this scooter. It has wonderful build quality, fabulous aesthetics, it's powerful, it's fun to ride. It's not the fastest scooter in the world, but it's certainly better than the Xiaomi M365 Pro 2 and the NINEBOT Segway Max, in my humble opinion. What a load of whip! This is the new KQi3 Pro electric scooter. The hot new commuter that has the Xiaomi Pro 2 and the Segway NINEBOT Max firmly gripped by the balls. The KQi3 Pro beats out the Xiaomi Pro 2 in nearly every way and is very close to the Segway's latest Max scooter. The standout specs include a top speed of 20 miles per hour, a top range of 31 miles. It comes in at a competitive price tag too. Check out the links below for the best price on this scooter, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It would be rude not to. Now when you first get on this scooter, you're going to think there's something wrong with it. You might even think it's broke because it only goes
8 miles per hour.
That's because new scooters put safety first, and you must ride your first 500 meters of this scooter in e-save mode and complete a tutorial on the app. So as soon as you've got it out of the box, don't expect to race off at top speed. Download the app, sign up, do the tutorial, do the training thing, and then you can unlock the scooter's full potential. Toddler's training mode aside, as soon as you get on the scooter, you will just feel the build quality. It is so comfortable, so steady to ride because of those big fat wheels. The handlebars are really nice and wide. The screen is very bright indeed, albeit very simple. It shows you how fast you're going, how much battery you've got left. If you want more information than that, you need to log into the app. I have a bit of an OCD about throttles on bikes and scooters because they're always so flimsy and you think you might break, and there's no real kind of feel-good quality about them. But NIU are famous for making electric mopeds, so thankfully they've put a really decent feel-good throttle into this scooter, and thank you very much. The bell, on the other hand, is rather underwhelming. The halo ring light, however, is bloody bright, probably the best light I have seen on an electric scooter, so thumbs up from that. The stem is super smooth, rather sexy and sleek.
That's what she said.
And we have a wicked stem lock as well. Stem locks can be touch and go on a lot of commuter scooters like this, but this one is solid. It ain't budging, it ain't going anywhere. And the mechanism itself is doubly reinforced, silky smooth, and the scooter slots nicely into the position, ready to be lifted up. Slight problem. She could do with losing a few pounds though. I'm only kidding, she's not that heavy, but a little bit on the heavy side for a commuter scooter. And you don't have to be Albert Einstein to fold it up either. Hurrah! The brakes on this thing, are bloody brilliant. That's because we have 3. 1 giant disc brake here, 2 giant disc brake here, and the third isn't really a brake, but we do have electric regenerative braking, so when you let go of the aforementioned amazing throttle, it will slow you down. The more energy it will recover from the braking, send that to the battery, therefore potentially increasing your range. Speaking of range, this Pro scooter taps out at 31 miles, 9 miles less than the Segway NINEBOT Max. But if you need more range, NIU also have their own Max scooter, which, as the name suggests, equals the range of the Segway. But if your budget doesn't quite stretch to the Pro or the Max, then defo check out the Sport, which gives you 90% of what the other 2 scooters do and costs less. Link in bio. But hold on a second, I may have found a 4th brake. Not that you will ever use it, but by the looks of it, it's got one of those old-fashioned foot thing brakes. Don't use that, you don't need to, the brakes are amazing. more good news comes in the form of an extra wide and grippy base plate with a kind of foot rest at the back. They're always appreciated, and at the front, in fact. Couple that with the extra large wheels and you have a very, very comfortable, smooth ride on your hands, far more comfortable than the Xiaomi Pro or NINEBOT Max will ever give you. Okay, let's talk about speed, which is potentially a rather contentious issue because this scooter is not fast. It feels fast, we'll get onto that, but its max speed is only 15 miles per hour, which I was kind of disappointed at because the spec sheet says 20 miles per hour, but it seems, alas, the European market, this scooter is indeed limited to only 15.
Please talk more about how you hate Europe and bicycles.
On the flip side, it's targeted as a commuter scooter. And I have always argued, if you are commuting around cities, I used to live in London, 15 miles per hour is plenty fast enough. You're gonna be faster than most of all the traffic in London, especially. And like I mentioned, this thing's got a 700 watt motor. It feels super fast. It's punchy off the mark. Okay, it doesn't have the highest top speed, but it definitely feels fast and it definitely feels fun. So I'm okay with that. Look, I don't want to be too hard on the Xiaomi Pro 2 and the NINEBOT Max, but this one just feels in a different class. However, they do share one thing in common. The lack of suspension. Now, this is a theme that I have been noticing in a lot of scooter companies. Everyone is upgrading their wheels to big 10-inch wheels. This scooter included. Well, this is actually 9.5, but they're broader, they're wider, which gives a nice fun swaying feeling as you ride. They're great, but they're no substitute for suspension. I would love to see a manufacturer like Xiaomi or NINEBOT and now NIU, who are making these really accessible, cool commuter scooters, but just add suspension to at least one of their models. On the flip side, this isn't an off-road scooter, and those tubeless, air-filled pneumatic tyres are really good for taking out most of the bumps and the imperfections in the road. But if you do hit something like a pothole or a root, you will feel it. Now, at the start of this video, I said I preferred this scooter to the Xiaomi Pro 2 and the NINEBOT Max. But how can I say that when on paper the specs aren't too different? Well, it just comes down to quality. This thing screams quality. I must have screamed that a million times in this video already, but never before ever on a scooter have I found myself kind of inspecting the tiniest, the smallest of details like welds, the flap that covers the charge port, reflectors, folding mechanisms. NIU have really nailed it on their first kind of entry into the electric scooter game because it feels like a vehicle, and that makes sense. They make mopeds, so this thing has that vehicle grade quality that the Xiaomi Pro certainly doesn't have, and the NINEBOT Max is just like a refrigerator on wheels. It's got no charm, class or style, whereas this has it in spades, and that is the real difference between this scooter and those scooters. Yes, they could have included air suspension, a removable battery, indicators. We'll save that for the next one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, like, comment below, and we'll see you in the next one.